Narita station where we will connect with the Shinkansen. And it's actually kind of claustrophobic here. The ceilings are not very high, and it's a little cramped around here. And as you can tell, it's also noisy, but that's par for the course for a subway station now, isn't it? It's interesting. We arrived at the Shinkansen station with over 2 hours to kill and no real desire to get up there and walk. It's been a long day, and it's also raining and cold. So we're just hanging around in here, and this place just goes on and on. I'm sure for a city dweller, this would be fairly standard, typical stuff, but the fact that there are so many of these stations, they're so large and they go on for so far is really kind of impressive to me, even though I'm familiar, like I said, with the Chicago L. There are levels of this place that we have yet to explore and may still sort of be reluctant to do so because we'd be moving from one ticket area to another, so we may not do much with that. Most of the places to stop at and look at have been restaurants or convenience stores, and quite honestly, we ate pretty well earlier, so we're not in any mood for that. So we're not sure what to do, but we've still got an hour and a half to kill, and we've kind of run out of weapons. Some of the others have gone up onto the surface into Ueno Park and the like. There was some talk of cherry blossoms, but we've seen a few of those already in previous visits, and so it doesn't quite hold the same fascination. And again, raining, cold, footsore, that sort of thing. But just to look around and see what's here is still kind of fascinating in its own way, even if it doesn't really interest us at the moment. And that's basically what we're doing. And one other thing to take note of, we're walking on the platform for the Joban line, which mentions going as far as Narita. I may have to look into this and find out whether this is a practical way to get over to the airport as well. Seeing as the Narita Express doesn't go to Ikebukuro either, this might be just as good of a transfer. It may not. I mean, there may be a lot more stops and it may be just as slow, but it's worth checking out, if only to be something a little different. Okay, my curiosity is piquing me. We just went up an elevator since the sign directed us to go up to get to the Shinkansen. Daniel was a little bit leery, saying, wait, didn't we come from below? And while we haven't crossed any ticket counter, it looks like we've got a ways to get outside from here. Then again, there's the question, do we want to go out into that wet? And all I'm seeing, of course, is umbrellas as far as the eye can see from out there. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm seeing also some ticket gates that we'd have to go through in order to check out. And honestly, I don't want to have to mess with that. And that's fine, because even inside here, we are at a different level where we've got a few more stores to check out. Not here, but you've seen these behind me. Nothing significant, but enough to be interesting because we don't have this at home. I'm starting to get the impression that JR has made a point of trying to turn every one of its stations, or at least the major ones, into malls. It's like we're walking through a food court right here, but there's also what is effectively a grocery store next to us. There are fashion stores, florists, for for the husband that's overworked and needs to pacify his wife, I guess. Everything is here if you're willing to walk and look for it. It does kind of keep out somebody who's not going to buy a ticket to go traveling someplace, but there is just about anything one would want here, if you know where to look. It is really something else. I honestly doubt we have anything like this in the States anywhere. But please, anyone in the comments, feel free to prove me wrong. I'd be more than willing to travel to a place like that someday. Yeah, there's even a piano where I assume somebody is hired to play from time to time. I think I remember seeing something like that. Was it in Kagoshima? No. Kyushu. We were together and we encountered one of those in the States. And that's the thing. It's not just here in Tokyo. It's everywhere in Japan or in a lot of places. And it just seems so alien to an American. It's a shame we don't have that sort of thing, but maybe it's just the makeup of this place as opposed to our homeland. Okay, as we were coming down the escalator, I was realizing that we're seeing that same place we were walking through earlier, and I mentioned how there was this section over here to investigate, and it looks like we have now. So it goes on in all sorts of different directions, but we've gotten our way back here with a ridiculous amount of time to spare, but still. I don't know if you can see it, but the escalator here to the Shinkansen is absurdly long. Somebody said this was the ride, but I think we'd be moving a lot faster if it was. And even then, we still had to go down another staircase in order to get here. But we are here. We do have reservations, so we have to find specifically car number 4. It is kind of like an airline in that we've got specific seats, but now we just gotta find them. And since we're down here with 15 minutes to spare, we should be okay as far as that goes. And you can see the marks right down here on the ground. I have to admit, I'm never really sure until I'm on the spot. And now we are getting aboard. Oh wow.
Don't really know my family tree that well.
Yeah.
And as much as I compared this to being in an airport, they don't worry about whether you're, strapped in or anything like that. It started up even before we could get ourselves seated. I understand this is not a starting station, but my goodness, that was a little bit surprising.
Yeah, get going quick.
You'd think I'd be used to this. I've done this before, but this felt a little bit more. There's a lot more waiting this time around, and I guess where we were was a terminus since we were starting in Kobe, but this is going to have a different feel to it. Heading out of Tokyo doesn't seem like we're moving all that fast. Maybe it speeds up, or maybe it's just the distance effect. However, once we're out of the city proper, things start to speed up. And we emerge from a tunnel to find everything here covered in snow. And we're still about 20 minutes away from our destination. Although it seems we're making a stop here.
But that's tomorrow or Thursday, whichever day we finish our
Well, things are starting to slow down, and so we need to get out in a hurry, because it's really just a short thing like a metro stop. Feel the train slowing down. You can't tell in the video. It actually takes a while to slow down because you're going so fast to begin with. But at least we're out. And it would seem that it's not snowing here, so that's nice. But all things considered, it does feel a little bit like Chicago again. Do I feel at home? Not really, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we're here. And yep, the JR station here is also a mall, but with a few local touches, including a bit celebrating what this place was one time. It's their moment in the sun and the snow.